SpaceX is about to do something that has never been done before. Yes, it's going to happen. Hey, I'm Lucas. Welcome to the SpaceX community. Let's get started. SpaceX is on the brink of another monumental step in space exploration with its 7th test flight of the Starship Super Heavy rocket, scheduled tentatively for January 10th, 2025. This particular flight is not just another test in the series. It marks a significant milestone as it involves the first ever payload deployment from Starship. This ambitious endeavor is part of a broader strategy to refine and validate the capabilities of Starship, preparing it for future operational missions that could revolutionize space travel, satellite deployment, and beyond. The core of this upcoming test flight lies in its payload deployment objective. Until now, Starship's tests have focused on basic flight performance, re-entry, and recovery techniques. However, deploying a payload introduces a new layer of complexity and validation for the system's operational readiness. On this flight, Starship will release 10 Starlink simulators, essentially mock satellites designed to mimic the size and mass of the next-generation Starlink V3 satellites. These simulators won't enter orbit, but will follow a suborbital path, eventually re-entering and burning up in the atmosphere over the Indian Ocean, just like Starship itself. This deployment isn't merely a test of the satellite release mechanism, but also a crucial step towards proving Starship's ability to serve as a satellite bus for the massive Starlink constellation in space. The Starlink V3 satellites, each weighing about 2 tons, are designed specifically for Starship's capabilities. They promise unprecedented connectivity, with each satellite boasting a downlink capacity of 1 terabit per second, which is 10 times that of the current V2 mini-satellites, and an uplink capacity of 160 gigabits per second, 24 times higher. Furthermore, these satellites will feature nearly 4 terabits per second of backhaul capacity, using both radio frequency and laser links, aiming to bring gigabyte speeds to Starlink subscribers globally. To handle the new complexities introduced by payload deployment, Starship has undergone significant upgrades. Among these, the most notable includes changes to the forward flap design, aimed at reducing heating during re-entry. The previous design iterations have taught SpaceX valuable lessons about aerothermal management, leading to these strategic modifications. Additionally, the propellant tanks have been expanded by 25%, allowing for longer missions or increased payload capacity, which is vital for hosting these larger Starlink V3 satellites. The avionics system has also seen a complete overhaul, featuring new, more powerful flight computers, integrated antennas for enhanced communication, and a revamped power distribution system. This new setup is intended to handle the increased data and power demands of deploying satellites. Another critical area of focus has been the Thermal Protection System, TPS. Starship Flight 7 will incorporate latest generation tiles with an additional layer for extra protection against heat damage. Intriguingly, SpaceX plans to deliberately remove some tiles to stress test the vehicle's resilience in vulnerable areas, simulating potential real-world scenarios where tiles might be lost or damaged. I'd like to quickly remind you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. You know, we're on a mission to reach 65,000 subscribers by next week. Join us on this journey, and let's see if we can make it happen together. This test will also experiment with metallic tiles, some of which include innovative water cooling systems, aiming to gather data on alternative heat shield materials that could be employed in future missions. The Super Heavy booster, too, plays a pivotal role in this mission's success. For the first time, it will utilize previously flown hardware, specifically a Raptor engine from the 5th test flight. This move is part of SpaceX's broader goal towards achieving full reusability, reducing costs, and increasing the frequency of launches. The booster will attempt another catch by the launch tower's chopstick arms, a maneuver previously successful, showcasing SpaceX's ongoing commitment to developing rapid reusability technologies. The flight path for Starship during this test will follow a suborbital trajectory, with the upper stage aiming for a splashdown in the Indian Ocean after its payload deployment. This route has been chosen not only for its technical challenges, but also to ensure public safety by minimizing any potential risks associated with the re-entry of both the vehicle and the payload simulators. Airspace restrictions have been set around the launch site at Starbase, Texas, from January 10th to January 16th, with launch windows opening in the late afternoon, except for a unique morning launch opportunity on January 11th. These restrictions underscore the complex orchestration required to ensure that the test flight can proceed safely without affecting air traffic or public safety. The success of this payload deployment test could have far-reaching implications. It's not just about proving that Starship can handle satellites. It's about opening up new possibilities for how space missions are conducted. With Starship, SpaceX envisions a future where the cost of satellite deployment drops significantly due to reusability, allowing for more frequent and ambitious space endeavors. Moreover, this test flight feeds into SpaceX's long-term vision of establishing a human presence on Mars, where Starship would play a central role in transporting both cargo and crew. The ability to deploy and manage payloads efficiently in space is a critical precursor to these larger objectives. As we stand on the tip of Starship's Flight 7, the excitement is profound. This test isn't just another step in the iterative development of a Starship, but a leap towards making space more accessible, connected, and exploratory. With each test, SpaceX inches closer to its goal of transforming our approach to space travel and satellite deployment, potentially setting the stage for an era where space is not just for the elite, but for humanity's collective benefit. The eyes of the world will be on Starbase, Texas, as SpaceX attempts to not only catch a rocket, but to catch the future of space exploration in its hands. SpaceX launched the Thoriya 4 satellite on January 3rd, marking its first mission of 2025. The Falcon 9 rocket lifted off at 8:27 p.m. Eastern from Cape Canaveral's Space Force Station in Florida, successfully delivering the satellite into a geostationary transfer orbit. Thoriya 4, an all-electric satellite based on the Airbus Eurostar Neo platform, is equipped with a 12-meter L-band antenna designed to provide narrowband voice and data connectivity for mobile devices. Its coverage spans Europe, Africa, Central Asia, and the Middle East. The satellite was commissioned by Space42, the United Arab Emirates' newly established space technology company, formed through the merger of satellite operator Yahsat and AI provider Bayanat in October 2024. The satellite will replace two aging Boeing-built spacecraft currently in geostationary orbit. Originally ordered in 2020, Thoriya 4 was intended to launch in 2023. However, delays in Airbus's space division pushed the timeline back. Even after production challenges were resolved, the satellite's launch was postponed from December 2024, as SpaceX closed out the year with a record 134 missions. Despite these delays, the successful deployment of Thoriya 4 represents a significant milestone for Space42. The company is leveraging the satellite to enhance its portfolio of AI-powered mobile connectivity solutions, which serve a diverse global customer base. Ali Al-Hashemi, CEO of Yahsat Space Services, Space42's satellite division, described Thoriya 4 as a critical enabler for developing innovative AI-driven services. These services are expected to support emerging technologies, including hybrid connectivity and geospatial solutions for markets such as autonomous vehicles. Space42 is also expanding its capabilities in broadband and TV broadcasting, currently provided by 3 satellites in geostationary orbit. Airbus is constructing 2 additional geo-satellites, Al-Ya-4 and Al-Ya-5, which SpaceX is scheduled to launch in 2027 and 2028. In addition to its geostationary assets, Space 42 is venturing into low Earth orbit with 2 Airbus-built satellites. These spacecrafts are part of a broader multi-orbit strategy, though specific details remain under wraps. SpaceX, meanwhile, continues to push the boundaries of commercial spaceflight. After achieving 134 launches in 2024, more than the rest of the world combined, the company aims to conduct 175 to 180 missions in 2025, according to Gwynne Shotwell, SpaceX's president and COO. As Space 42 and SpaceX collaborate on these ambitious projects, the successful launch of Thuraya underscores the UAE's growing influence in the global space industry. Thanks for watching today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for another great video tomorrow.